30-7, the Niners over the Steelers, and it's very simple. What'd you think? For me, as I said off the top, you can compliment almost every position group out there, but for me, it is a total warm fuzzy for a fan base when you can comfortably say, we've got our quarterback. And not that Game 9 is that much bigger than Game 8. It's just that this crosses over the injury. It crosses over the offseason. It's a tough road opener. I don't really think there's any tests left to pass as far as the opponent for Brock Purdy and the situation. Well, playoffs, play from behind, play at home, play on the road, play a good team, play a bad team. We've seen it all. We've seen it all already in that short stint. And I think 49er fans have got their guy. And in the football sense, there's nothing better.
Right. I think the football team itself has their guy, so why don't fans think that they have their guy? Because the franchise thinks they have their guy. And that's the part that I'm kind of stuck on. And I was ribbing you earlier in the crossover, trying to beat you to the punch about, oh, he's the best ever, and oh, Brock for life, and all the rest of it. I am a believer in Brock, not only because of yesterday, but what he's done and what this offense is. And it doesn't even matter to me if it's a byproduct of the team, the system, the laminated play sheet. Whatever you want to give credit to is fine. This team is incredible. This offense is nasty, and he's the guy who is the trigger man. So he gets as much credit as you want to give him. The team gives him more credit to the fan base, and that's the part that makes me wonder why. Yeah,
I think we rush to try to compare, like, where does he fit and what's the comp and all these things.
Name a guy.
I look at it this way.
Name a guy.
No, but I don't know how to do that yet. And I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know, and I don't want to even put that on him. I'd look at it more this way. He's a really good football player.
Yeah.
That's it, and I think he'll get better, but he's a really good football player. He's
sure
Tom Brady in the 7th round, and
that was going to be the bit if you would,
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd go like,
okay.
Garcia, he's better. Gerback, better.
Garoppolo,
better.
He is.
Steve Young, better.
Way better.
Joe Montana, not even close. I was kind of trying to get you to take the bait. But
yeah, I do think
you're in serious mode today?
Well, no, I'm focused. I'm like the 49ers, okay? I'm focused. I do think this. I already said this, but I hope that yesterday helped crystallize it for people. You hear this a lot. Hey, in this offense, all you got to be is like Garoppolo because he proved that wins. I want to say this real slow and real clear. This dude's way better than Garoppolo. This is not Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo never looked like this. Garoppolo never 2 touchdowns in every single start. Very rare does he throw a pick. When the play breaks down, he makes good decisions. He moves in the pocket. He moves out of the pocket. He darts with his legs for a first down. What on earth are you looking at if you think that Brock Purdy looks like Garoppolo? The points are higher. The data's all in front of you. I don't know where that's coming from. This ain't Garoppolo.
Oh, he's better.
This is way better than Garoppolo.
Yeah. Even though he runs an offense that's very similar, he doesn't do anything to the eye test that is much different, but he's more efficient. He turns it over less. They score more, and they win more. So those are things that you look at, and you can't help but notice that that's better than Jimmy G.
Yeah. I just think decision-making is the number one thing that comes to my mind with Brock, and that was always a struggle point for Jimmy. Jonathan in the city. Here with Willard and Dibs. Hey, Jonathan, what's up?
Hey, guys. I really love the game, first game. But the 2 things that stands out, after watching the game, I didn't like the fact that they kind of enabled T.J. Watt into getting those 3 sacks. And the fact, I think, for the most part, he was single blocked. So it's like they didn't learn from the past mistake. Hassan Reddick was single blocked when he wrecked the T2 for us. So next time, when the offense is facing a game wrecker, a premier pass rusher like T.J. Watt, let's go ahead and treat that guy the way they treat Nick Bosa, being blocked by 2-3 guys. Another thing that stood out to me that I didn't like, Christian McCaffrey stayed in the game for far too long, man. The game was in hand. let's go ahead and shelf him, put in the shelf sooner, because the backup is also very capable. But one thing I love after the game is that no significant injury. So go Niners.
Jonathan, good stuff. Although I'll say this, let's get into that for a second. McCaffrey stayed in too long. You felt the same way, right?
Yes, but only a little bit too long.
Yeah.
I was just starting to get to the point of take him out, and then they actually took him out.
Yeah.
It came down to like maybe 2 carries that I would have had him out. It's about 10 minutes to go when they got the ball back, and he ran him twice in a row, and I thought, come on, Kyle, take him out. And then McCaffrey put up his hand, and he went out, and so I'm not going to dwell on that too much, but it is one of those things where, it's early in the year, and you want to make sure that McCaffrey can be fresh and ready in Week 11, Week 17, Week 18, the playoffs, and all the rest of it. And he does have not a injury history, but he has been hurt before.
Oh, he's got an injury history.
But I don't want it to make it seem like, yeah, but he's not injury prone.
No,
that's
well,
unfair.
I mean,
they all are in pro football. We've been over this.
Right.
But you have like Eli Mitchell, who is champing at the bit to get carries, and you got J.P. Mason, who you'd love to get some touches as well. So I don't know if you really need to have McCaffrey in the fourth quarter in that game, but it's early, and I'm going to give Kyle the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, was Mason even was he active?
I thought he was the third running
right?
back. Yeah.
He was. Okay. I know he's dealt with some injuries in the preseason. Eli Mitchell only averaged 2 yards a carry. I know that was only on
4 carries?
5. He had 5 carries and 10 yards. I just look at it this way. Coaches are going to always err on the side of caution. Like, how many of you raise your hand if you've ripped Kyle Shanahan in the last 5 years for blowing leads?
Not me.
Okay.
Not even once.
Right?
We're the Super Bowl with the Falcons 28-3.
Okay. So if you're going to rip a guy for blowing leads and then you come in the next day and you rip a guy for leaving the starters in too long, this is a very fine line.
It is, but that was different. I mean, yesterday, there's no way that lead's getting blown.
I know it feels like
There's
that.
no way.
But it sometimes, man, it switches on a dime. You'd know. I sat there in Soldier Field and made fun of the Bears fans around me.
That was a one-score game.
No, it went 10-0. The Niners went up 10-0, and the way that offense looked against the Niner D, I laughed at them. I said, this thing is in the cookie jar. You all are a bunch of, you're not monsters of Midway. You like, no one's worried about you. And then they lost the game. So you don't let them off the hook. I didn't have too much of a problem with how long those guys are in there. And then his other point is about T.J. Watt. And look, McKivitz, he got beat a lot. The eyes will be on him going forward. There's no doubt. But if it was that easy to just stop T.J. Watt, everybody would do it, right? You watch Nick Bosa. Nobody stops him. T.J. Watt is very, very similar. He's very, very hard to stop. I'm not going to judge Colton McKivitz solely on how he looks against T.J. Watt, especially because, we call T.J. Watt a game wrecker. Well, he didn't wreck this one. The Niners went away from him, and their offense did fine. So he got in and got Brock a few times. I'm okay with that when T.J. Watt does that because it's T.J. Watt.
I'm okay with it, and it felt to me like Kyle Shanahan saw how big the lead was and thought, you know what, Colton, you're going to have to go ahead and earn it today. We're not going to help you. We're not going to put the tight end over there. We're not going to allocate a running back to chip TJ. You're going to have to man up and take him one-on-one. And I'm not saying that he was like doing that thinking that Brock Purdy was going to get hurt, but I do think that he wanted to see what he had at right tackle, and I'm sure today in the film study, he's not having a good day.
Yeah, well, probably not. But
he got owned. Yeah. He got served.
By one of the best players in the game.
Right.
Yeah. So, I wonder, everybody who's looking at right tackle and going, hey, Niners, malpractice with the way you handled that in the offseason. Did anybody watch Mike McGlinchey against Max Crosby?
He struggled a little bit.
Anybody check that out for a second?
I did, actually.
McGlinchey got absolutely worked, and they spent $80 million on that, or whatever it was, $70 million, something, whatever it was. They spent a whole lot of money to watch that game record do the exact same thing that T.J. Watt did to the Niners.
One thing you can put in the cap for later in the year, deeper into October, is that what the Niners did salary cap wise this last week or so, last few days, they now have room to make a deal at the deadline to bring in a right tackle. In case they decide that McKivitz is not the guy, you have enough room now to make a deal for this year to bring in a right tackle that you actually can rely on if things continue to go south.
There are options. There's no doubt about it. AJ in Lathrop. Hey, AJ, you're on with Willard and Dibs. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Calling in from, $1 million homes for half a living Lathrop, River Island's right here representing.
I love it. $1 million living for half the cost. I was the first one on that tagline, AJ. Thank you for remembering.
Sure. Well, this is the show of my appreciation towards you, Will, Dibs. So, hey, really quick, hey, aren't we glad that football is back? I mean, how great of a weekend it was to see, NFL back on television. Disregarding your wife and your kids and everything else in the house, and just glued to the television sets, watching Niners beat down on the loudmouth Patrick Peterson and the Steelers. I mean, I give them credit. Their preseason games were really good. They had all the hype, but they did not face the defense that Niners carry. I mean, if you look at from the linebackers, from the defensive ends to Hufanga and the safety and Lenore in the back. I mean, like the offenses have to really think, like, how are they going to score points on this defense? I mean, you have to be like, I must say, like Patrick Mahomes caliber, and have like a Travis Kelce kind of guy, maybe few of them on your team, to score 30 points, to score winning field goal or something like that. And shout out to my man Jake Moody. All the problems or all the rumors that he's not good or he's nervous in this, he put it all out. He's going to be the guy who's going to win us a few games with a field goal. And Brock Purdy, I love his awareness, situational awareness. What about that? What about the fumble that he recovered behind his back? I mean, how situationally where he was, like, hey, the ball is still touching my back. Got to keep my hands on it. It's gonna, whatever happens, just keep the ball attached to your back, no matter what. I mean, that's common sense, but also very street smartness, because you got skills, you got talent. You just gotta have, ways to kind of like, when you're put in the situation to something can go negative, you just have to be aware of what the best you can do to not to make a mistake and turn the ball over, and that's what he showed. So you were looking for a goal while you had the diamond in the rough right underneath the Andros. Go Niners.
AJ, thanks. Appreciate it. That was a crazy play.
Crazy.
And it was also a break that it happened at an angle where the cameras could catch it.
Right. One of his two fumbles, right?
Remember, did he fumble a second time?
I thought he did, yeah.
Yeah.
The one where he got absolutely hit from the blind side when McKivitz got when he went turnstile.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's on pace to fumble 34 times this year. Just so we're fair about Brock Purdy.
This is true.
I'm trying to be fair and balanced because I've been praising him all show.
Yeah.
I just want to keep it real.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
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 Although he lost one, and that's the one that statistically stays.
Right.
Like nobody lists at the end of the year how many fumbles you had that you didn't lose.
Unless you get up into the 30s, and then we will we'll talk about it. The fact that he didn't lose that fumble is anatomically impossible. I can barely even get my own arms behind my own back, sitting in this comfortable, very ergonomically favorable chair.
No joke.
Let alone having some 280-pounder breathing on me trying to get at my football.
Made me wonder if he's got a past we don't know about, like he's been arrested before or something like that. He's pretty comfortable.
Maybe he's an illusionist.
Thank you. He's pretty comfortable with his hands behind his back.
I've been cuffed before.
But especially with TJ Watt being the one who's after it, like in order to get your hands on that strong enough to where they're going to say that's possession, and the second you're touched, that means you're down, because the ball then moved around some more. But yeah, there was a break there. But no, I don't know if we've got any question left on that, right? He called it street smarts. I would just call it field awareness. I mean, Brock Purdy clearly has that at an incredible level, on awareness of seeing the field, knowing where people are supposed to be, the ability to improvise, all of those things. Guru said earlier, that's half the battle. I'm like, no, I think it's way more. It's way more than half the battle. So, sure, he does not have the arm that you're going to see on these guys tonight. He does not have that arm. But with this offense, the way that it's going, and add in his awareness, his decision-making, his execution, I don't think it's going to matter all that often. You know what I mean? The Niners receiving core isn't even built that way anyway. They don't have Tyreek Hill. They're not going to try to fly by you and just run over the top. It's not the way they do what they do. 888-957-9570. Jason in the city with Willard and Dibs. Hi, Jason. What are you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, the Niners did a fantastic job, but I wanted to comment on the defense and Fred Warner's pick, which led to the interception by Hufanga. That was awesome. Talk about unselfishness. I mean, even though it didn't work out, he got another player involved and did the lateral pass, which was later called for legal forward pass. But yeah, just the unselfishness of Hufanga, who the whole defense, the whole team did an awesome job. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate the call. I do think that there is something there. I don't think it's all that unique. I think there are other teams that can say this too, but for some reason, it's really seeming to connect with people today that in whatever way you can see or say this in football, the Niners played a very team game. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Normally we have that talk in basketball. Oh, they shared the ball. And look at the assists.
8 guys in double figures.
Exactly. Like, it's harder to see and say that in football. But what the way I translate what people are seeing and trying to say, the Niners have full buy-in. You have people who are willing to do things down the field, willing to go block. Yes, willing to share the spotlight. People like George Kittle who can just have a few targets, and they're totally fine with it.
Wish he had more.
Yeah, I know.
Fantasy football, I'm looking like I'm going to take an L.
Well, didn't you have Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Well, then you should be fine.
No, Lamar
Jackson. You're
Jackson.
going to take an L?
Lamar Jackson, pretty quiet day.
You had Tyreek, and you're going to take an L.
It takes a village, Mark.
What are you doing, Dibs?
My team is...
what are you doing?
Well, I got George Kittle, who had, I think, 2 catches for about 25 and no tud.
Let me go to the league.
It was a pretty quiet day for Nostradamus across the board.
League scoreboard.
I should have started Robert Woods. I should have started Rashee Rice, the aforementioned Rashee Rice.
Oh, here you are.
But I'm going up against the champ.
Okay,
a good team.
You need 19 points from Alan Lazard and the Buffalo defense. Oh, and you need Buffalo's kicker to not get any points.
Does he have Norwood?
Unfortunately,
be a lot cooler
the Bills' current kicker, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm
in a little trouble.
You're probably going to lose.
Yeah, but it's all right. I mean,
Tyreek Hill got you 47.
He got 47?
And the rest of your team didn't even get 50 more. Damn, dude.
Lamar Jackson was rusty. He did not look good. Lamar was bad. George Kittle didn't do much. And,
look at you, man. Dallas Goedert gave you a Zippo.
Yeah, Zippo from DG. Probably
started 2 tight ends, huh?
I got 4 on my roster in case you need one.
I do.
Yeah, we should talk offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, how we looking? We can do it, right? Let's go to Amal. Amal, what's going on in Union City? What's up, man? How you doing?
Gentlemen, how you guys doing? Dibs, I got to say, man, I'm a big fan. If radio doesn't work, you seriously got a future in comedy, and I mean that in a very sincere way. But, guys, watched a lot of football yesterday. Niners look like a clear-cut favorite above everybody else. I mean, they've got 5 great players on offense, 4 great players on defense. I'm going to make a not-so-bold of a prediction. Niners are winning the Super Bowl this year. They're playing against the Jets, and Niners are the winners. I mean, this team just, when you watch football, you could tell a lot of teams won and lost, but not everybody looked that good. Niners just looked flawless, and this team's got a great future. Guys, I got to go. I got to listen to myself. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, hustle. There we go.
That guy, Amal.
Yeah, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Amal.
And that's some high praise. I appreciate that.
Well, I hope radio works out for you.
I mean, you figure 25 years in, if it doesn't work out now, it's never going to work out, Mark. That's kind of where we are.
Pivot.
I started in 98, so if it doesn't work out, then I don't know what 25 years is worth.
Look, I get where everyone's coming from when you say this. My mind yesterday does not go to the Super Bowl, though. It goes to right now, the 49ers are what we thought, which is one of the best teams in the NFL, but that's right now. There is forever and a day to go. I tell you how far I look ahead. And
Don't tell me you're taking it one rep at a time.
No, that's lame.
Thank you.
But you have to say things like if they're blessed with health.
Okay.
But if they are, they absolutely should be undefeated when Dallas gets here.
In January.
No.
Oh, okay.
Next month.
Oh, yeah.
Next month. And will Dallas be 4-0? Dallas has got the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Patriots. That's bigger questions. They should beat Arizona. But Dallas got a much tougher schedule. The 49ers go Rams, Giants, Cardinals.
They should clinch the NFC West before the World Series is over.
Before the show's over.